जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी, जय राधा माधवा। राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी, गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, गिरिवरदा शोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshugavunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaudodaya Pushpavantau Chitrausham Tamonudau He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Yevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Vadiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama-shloke bhaktir-bhavati naishthiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you. All of you comfortable in English, right? English, I can speak in English. So this morning we are reciting from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 6th chapter. Text number 9 is written there. Okay. So Sadhyatma sadhidaivascha sadhibhuta iti tridha virat prano dashavidha ekadha hridayena cha. Sadhyatma sadhidaivascha sadhibhuta iti tridha virat prano dashavidha ekadha hridayena cha. Sadhyatma sadhidaivascha sadhibhuta iti tridha virat prano dashavidha ekadha hridayena cha. सब प्रभु जी बोल सकते हैं. साध्यात्मा साधिदैवश्च साधिभूत इति त्रिधा विराट प्राणो दशविधा एकधा हृदयेन च. आता है. Sa adhyatmaha, the body and mind with all the senses. Sa adidaivaha, and the controlling demigods of the senses. Cha, and sa adibhutaha, the present objectives. Iti, thus. Tridha, three. Virat, gigantic. Pranaha, moving force. Dashavidaha, 10 kinds. Ekadha, one only. Hridayena, living energy. Cha, also. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The gigantic universal form is represented by 3, 10, and 1. In the sense that he is the body and the mind and the senses, he is the dynamic force for all movements by 10 kinds of life energy, and he is the one heart where life energy is generated. So this is about the Virat Purusha description. The 3, 10, and 1 that is being spoken is, body, mind, and senses is 3. And the 10 are the 10 types of air, different type of airs in the body. And the 1 is the heart, where the 2 birds reside, the soul and the Supersoul reside. That was a heart. So, if you want to study the whole universe in which we are living in, it is very easy to study it by studying our own body, body in which we are situated. Our body is comparable to the universe also. So, the 14 planetary systems are also explained in the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram we recite. Bhuvpadau yasya nabir vyadal surnilas chandra suryavscha netre karnavasha shirodhyaur makamapi dahano yasya vaste yamabdihi antastam yasya vishvam suranarakago bhogi gandharva daityaihi chitram ram ramyate tam tripuvana vapusham vishnumesham namami. So this verse describes the Virat Purusha. The Satyaloka is like the skull, Patala is like the feet, and the 14 planetary systems are his body. The mountains are like his bones. The trees are the hairs on his body. The mule, the camel, and the horses, they are all like the nails. And the ocean is like the navel. And the sun and the moon are his eyes. And the front of Virat Purusha is the religion. Back of Virat Purusha is the irreligion. And the chirping of the birds is like his smile. And the rising and setting of the sun is like the Virat Purusha closing and opening the eyes, like that. And all the other planetary systems are arranged in his body. So elsewhere you get the description about Virat Purushas. The whole universe is his body. Just like you are the resident of your body, Virat Purusha is the resident of the cosmic body, cosmic universe. So now our body is made up of these these things. Like the three means the body, the mind, and the senses. Now our body is made up of Panchamahabhut, isn't it? There's Panchamahabhut here, there's Panchamahabhut outside also. Now, what is the difference? That is why he says here, Sadi Atma, Sadi Bhuta, Sadi Deva. Three words are used. Now, Sadi Atma means what? There is Panchamahabhut here which I identify with myself. Correct, no? For example, here also there is Panchamahabhut, here also there is Panchamahabhut. What is the difference? If you pinch me, I'll feel pain. If you pinch the table, I won't feel pain. Sadi Atma actually means uh, like the Panchamahabhuta, that is wrapping up the soul in the form of body and mind, the gross body and the subtle body, and enveloping the mind and the senses, enveloping it. You call that Sadi Atma. And Sadi Bhuta means the conglomeration of all the 24 material elements, from where the objects of the senses are made for the jiva to chase after in this world. Jiva wants to enjoy independently. So the objects of the senses are made like Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. For the eyes, there are forms. For the ears, there are sounds. For the nose, there are smells. For the tongue, there is taste. And for the skin, there is sense of touch. So that is a Shitatvam, Ushnatvam, Katinatvam, Mridutvam. Those things are the Katinatvam means hard surface. You don't like to sleep in a hard floor. You want Mridutvam. You want to sleep on a soft bed. Similarly, Shitatvam, in winter you don't like cold. In summer you don't like Ushnatvam. So these are perceptions of the body. So you will find in this way the objects which are created for the jivas in this world to perceive and enjoy, try to enjoy. So that is Sadi Bhutam. Then there is Sadi Daivam. Sadi Daivam is, for each of our senses there are sense devatas. Like for the eyes, the sense devata is the sun. Why? Because first the sun should arise in the sky, then only we can see one another. In Amavasya day, can you look at anybody? Dark night, you can't see. Without external aid, our eyes are as good as useless. You can't see anything. Like any of your experience in a pitch dark room. Like I was staying in one accommodation in ISKCON temple. When I returned to room, it was dark. When I opened the door, but I didn't know where the switch is. So you're just groping in the dark, trying to touch here, touch that, touch everywhere, and you don't know. So and then at last I found a switch they had kept by the side of the cot below. Isn't it? I searched everywhere. Then somebody brought their mobile and they showed the external light. We searched everywhere and at last we found out where it is. Then you put on the switch. Correct? In the night we cannot see. Correct now? Anything. That means although we have eyes, our eyes are useless without getting aid of the sun. And all the light emitting objects, they got their light from the sun only. They have stored light. In this world, many objects have withdrawn, they have drawn light from the sun and they have stored it. That's why they're able to emanate light. So ultimately, the sun is a light-giving object. Yathar kogni, yatha somo, yataraksha grahatarakaha. That verse is used in the Bhagavatam. Yena sarojisha vishwam rochitam rochayamyaham yatar gogni yatar kogni yataraksha grahatarakaha, it says. Yatar kogni yata somo yataraksha grahatarakaha. So the Agni, the Soma and all other stars, everybody ultimately gets the light from the sun, original light. So therefore, now you understand why the sun is called as the presiding deity of the eyes. This is how each of our senses have a presiding deity. For example, for the nose, there is Ashwini Kumaras. Why Ashwini Kumaras are in charge of Ayurveda also? Huh? All the jadibootis, all the medicinal herbs, more than 3,000-4,000 of the herbs are quoted in the Charak Samhita. So, how do you detect a medicinal herb? By plucking a leaf, rubbing it, as you smell. Huh? When you smell, immediately you can know. Huh? Like, for example, we blindfold you and we put a jasmine in your nose, jasmine flower. Immediately you can say, this is jasmine flower, correct? If you put a rose in your nose, immediately you can say, this is rose flower, correct, no? Or if we take a particular leaf and you little bit crush it and smell it, immediately you can detect it. Huh? So the medicinal herbs are detected by smelling. And those medicinal herbs are used as medicine also. Huh? Therefore, the Ashwini Kumaras are for the nose, presiding deity for the nose. That means without the aid of the nose, you cannot detect the medicinal herbs. Huh? You need that. In the same manner, you will see the dogs also detect thieves with the nose, correct? Huh? Correct, no? They sniff and they find out. Huh? They have some extra sense God has given them to find out. Huh? So now, in the same manner, you take the ears. Who is the presiding deity for the ears? The Dig Devatas. Huh? The Dig Devatas. Dig means direction. There is north, east, west, south, and there are northeast, southwest, like that also. Totally 4 plus 4, 8 directions. So these are devatas who are presiding the 8 directions. So when you clap hands like this, immediately people turn around and see from where the sound is coming. From where is the source of sound. You see that. So because as soon as the sound is heard, you look to the direction of the sound. Therefore, for the ear which perceives the sound, Dig Devatas are the in charge. Similarly, the tongue is presided by Varuna, because the tongue contains saliva, water. So, tongue is presided by Varuna Deva. Similarly, the mouth is presided by Agni. I was wondering why mouth is presided by Agni. Then one devotee said, with the mouth, you can speak some words and, those words can make others cry. Isn't it? Just like, for example, how many of you have seen in the kitchen when when you are making halwa or something, sometimes little extra fire you put, what happens? It will become, the taste will be finished. It will become burnt. Burnt halwa, do you like? Nobody likes. If there is less fire, it will be uncooked. That also nobody will like. Somebody had cooked very fastly halwa. It looked like rubber. Nobody could eat it. Like this. Nobody could eat it. What is this? It's like a gum. Not very tasty. But if you put more fire, it becomes burnt. So appropriate amount. Similarly, mouth also. Sometimes you have to tell somebody strongly, but if you tell little extra strong, they will cry. And if you tell little less strong, they will not do the work. You have experience of that? Sometimes you don't know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you tell strongly also, it's not good. So then one has to take care of the speech, correct? No? That's what Krishna says, Anudvegakaram Vakyam. He says, one should speak in a way unagitating to others, correct? No? So our speech is like Agni coming out of the mouth. Daksha Prajapati used his mouth and he got a goat head. Subsequently, because of speaking offensive, abusive words against Lord Shiva. See that. So the mouth is presided by Agni. Similarly, hands are presided by Indra, and the genitals are presided by Brahma. So, and the chitta is presided by Lord Vasudeva directly. Chittena Hridayam, that comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in this way, when we talk about Sadi Daivam, so these are the Sadi Daivam, the sense devatas who are controlling agents of our senses. They are called as Sadi Daivam. So, actually, you need 5 things for perceiving anything in this world. For example, I want to see an object. So, I want to see this clip. First, the Sadi Devam, they should give permission. Surya Dev should give me permission. When he gives permission, for the first thing. Second thing, I need the eyeballs, which I have. Then I need the chakshu, which is actually eye in the subtle body. The subtle body has this shabda, sparsha, rasa, rupa, gandha abilities. Actually, originally it's there in subtle body. So that means the sun, the eyeball, and the subtle body, this thing, that is also required. And then I also need the presence of the myself, soul in the body. Without the soul's presence, how can you perceive anything? There's no perception without the presence of the soul. And then finally, the permission of the supersoul. If supersoul should sanction. So soul, supersoul, the chakshu, that is a eye in the subtle body, then the eye in the grass body, eyeball, and the sun. These five things, when they combine, then only I can see any object. Otherwise, we cannot see. You will see that there are people, you will see that if one of this is lacking, they will not be able to see. Like the eyeballs are impaired, for example. Although the subtle body has the eye ability to see, if eyeballs are impaired, they are blind, they can't see. Therefore, they do netradan. They get the eye and they place it. Then they are able to see. Correct? No? So in this way, you will see many people do not know the functioning of the body. It's a very highly complex mechanism. To just make even a simple rudimentary robo, how much research they have done to prepare a robo. And robo is actually made of some machine elements. Whereas if you see the body, it's a very highly complex body, how it functions. That is explained in this verse. Like for example, the 10 type of airs are mentioned here. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These are the 5 primary airs. Now the prana, prana controls actually the chest, the throat, and the nose. The air which moves in this area. It's called as prana. People say, no, prana gaya. They say, no. That means prana has gone away, means it goes like this. It goes like this. It goes, comes out, goes like this. When it goes and never comes, you're gone. After that, one is called dead. Correct, no? That is prana. And udana, vayu is required for your vocal cord. If somebody has a problem of the vocal cord, because the udana vayu controls that, the throat, the sound, the ability to, make sound. That is udana vayu. Similarly, prana and apana means navel and below. That means the passing of the urine, the passing of the stool, like reproducing a child, like a lady begets a child when she is garbhavati. That has to be, so these things are and below the navel. So these portions are apana. So prana, apana, udana, and samana is, samana means when you put the food, the food goes through the gastro tract, and then when it goes in the belly, there is a gastric juice, which is supplied, and the food is mixed after that. Then it is divided into 3 parts. One part is useful part. It is taken out and then it's mixed with sugar, glucose, many other things are there, and then it goes circulated, then it has to be sent to the heart as blood, converted into blood and then sent. Then the other portion turns into stool and urine, and that is thrown out. The third part is the consciousness of the food, that is sent to the chitta, our consciousness. It's sent to the mind. So 3 things are sent to 3 places. So this is done by the samana, and also balance between food and water also. Like if you put water, if you put food and you don't drink water, then the food is not properly digested. Correct, no? So in this way, in the samana vayu, it keeps the accepting the food and then digesting the food and assimilating into the bodily stream in the form of blood. All these things are done by samana vayu. You see? So I told you about prana vayu, apana vayu, udana vayu, samana vayu. What is the other one? Vyana. Vyana, it's all over the body. For example, it passes through the leg, passes through the hand. Any of you had pain in the hands or the legs? That's because of the gas, we say. No? This air passes through all over the body. It moves. There are diseases which come because of improper circulation of air. There's a lack of balance in the body. Sometimes there are air pockets also. So in this way, this dhyana is all over the body. The movement of the hair all over the body to keep the body balanced. That is dhyana. Then there are other airs, like for example, there is one air called kurma. That air causes the blinking of the eyes, twinkling of the eyes. Like, when you're sitting in a class, you don't know how many times you blinked your eyes, in a period of half an hour or 1 hour. Do you keep track of it? We don't even do it. It happens. That is happening by the kurma. There is one. Similarly, there is another air called naga. So that air causes this belching. After finishing, when you are eating prasad, you get the sound, right? Why it comes? It's indicated, hey, enough now. Now, actually, it is not full. It's only almost 60% or 70% when you put. That time the sound comes. And you wonder why I have not filled my belly, still it is giving sound. Why it comes? Because you need to keep space for water and air. So 50% full, 25% air, 25% water. But most people put 90% food. Huh? There is no place for water. Sometimes you're so full that rice comes from the nose. Like that. So much they eat. That's why the sound comes. So that is given by the Naga. So you find the belching or sometimes vomit. Why the vomit comes? Something not good for your system has gone in, that comes out. It is thrown out of the system so that it doesn't spoil the system. So vomiting or belching, and also the opening of the mouth and opening of the eyes. These abilities are also by the Naga only. That's one of the airs. So there is a Kurma, there is a Naga. What is the other one I said? Yeah, that was a twinkling I was telling. And then there are also, let us see, it may be in the purport here. Yeah. Correct. There is one called as Devadatta, the relaxation, tiredness, sleeping, yawning, all these things are related to Devadatta. Like if you worked one day a little hard, you feel some kind of, you drained in the body. You experience of that? Body is drained and you feel tired, you feel like relaxing. Or you yawn. When you yawn, when you didn't have adequate sleep at night, then you yawn. So all this is called Devadatta. And even after the soul leaves the body and goes away, the body doesn't start stinking immediately. Almost 5-6 hours it takes the body to stink because metabolism stops and the red blood turns into white blood. So at that time, body should start stinking immediately. It doesn't do because there is one air called as Dhananjaya air. The 10th one. This air keeps the body for some period of time so that it can be carried for burial or burning. So this air is meant for keeping the upkeep of the body for some period of time. So these airs are arranged in such a way. Like for example, morning you get up, you feel some pressure to go for the call of nature, correct? No? But this pressure is designed in such a way that it's not that immediately you will pass in the bed only. It can hold for some time. You observed it? It is giving you indication. The indication is there. You have adequate time to remove your clothes and change your towel, and then fold your bed also. Isn't it? Keep it. And then, if you want to apply a little oil onto the body, that much is ready to wait for you. And then when you go to the bathroom, switch on the light, then it is delivered. Then it is released after that. See, these airs are arranged so amazingly by the Lord, you see, in the body. It can give an indication and it can wait. Similarly, this Devadatta is also arranged like that. You see, Krikara. See, the Krikara is one which causes a thirst and the hunger. Sometimes if thirst and hunger is not there, you may not eat at all because you're caught up in scrolling, Instagram. Sometimes you see 1 o'clock prasad, you take at 5 o'clock because you're watching, So you can get lost. So the hunger and thirst are kept. Correct, no? So these 10 airs are actually making the body function in all these ways. These are the different ways these 10 airs are making the body function. So in this way, the body, the mind, and the senses, these three are called as the three. And the 10 are the 10 airs in the body. And the one is the heart, which is actually like a lake in which the two swans live. Who are the two swans? soul and supersoul. That is explained in the fourth canto. Lord and the Jiva are like soul and supersoul. So in 7.4 and 7.5, there is a verse which says, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhire vacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. He says, the ashtadha is the gross body and subtle body. Huh? Bhumi, Rapo, Anala, Vayu come, five things which are earth, water, fire, air, ether, that is gross body. And Man, Buddhi, Ahankar, mind, intelligence, ego is a subtle body. That is explained. So there he says two words he uses. He says para and apara. Prakriti says. Para means the soul which belongs to the internal potencies. It's a superior energy. And the apara is the material energy. So these two are explained in those verses. 7.4. 7.4 talks about apara shakti and 7.5 talks about parashakti, correct? No? So in this way, the material and spiritual energies are explained in the 7th chapter of the Gita. And in 15.15 Bhagavad Gita, famous verse, what is it? Sarvasya chaham hridisal nivishto mattastirjnanamohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta kridveda videva chaham. He says that I am seated in the heart of all living beings, a super soul, and from me comes three things, he says. Knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So, what is that knowledge that Lord can give us by seated in the heart? If you are interested in turning back to Lord and going back to God, then He'll give you that knowledge. He'll give you that knowledge if that's what you're looking for. But if you are eager to forget Him and do our own thing independently, telling the Lord, don't interfere with me, mind your own business, and I want to be independent. I want to lord over the material nature. So then the Lord says, okay, I'll give you forgetfulness. You be independent as you want. Sometimes you find a child going with the parents to the shopping mall, he's asking for a cocoa chocolate or something, and mom says no. The child cries, or sometimes he lies on the ground, waving hands and legs, creating a scene. And rolling on the ground, he's picking up different things in the shop and throwing. And mother thinks, hey, he's gone mad. Then she gives money. She says, okay, go eat cocoa chocolate. Unless you lose a few teeth, you will not realize. So then she gives permission. She doesn't give happily, she gives reluctantly. Like that super soul sometimes lets the jiva do nonsense reluctantly. Although Lord knows that this is not going to make the jiva happy. But the Lord lets the jiva do what he wants and then waits for a while watching. So that is apohanam. But if you are eager to get knowledge about him, immediately the Lord will direct you to some devotee. Everything will fall in place for you beautifully. You will get a devotee, you'll get the books, you will get knowledge, all your questions will be answered. We have Balram Gopal Prabhu sitting here. Balram Gopal Prabhu was a student close to LA. And he got a copy of Bhagavad Gita and he was reading on his own. And a couple of years he read, he very much appreciated the message, but he didn't know, can someone help me, guide me further? So one of the days when he was in LA moving, our Deva Vrata Prabhu, who is also Brahmachari in LA, he's actually born and brought up in LA, Deva Vrata Prabhu, and he's now very close to Vikram Gaurang Prabhu. For LA, I had fixed Vikram Gaurang Prabhu to offer remote this thing, guidance and everything. So Devavrata Prabhu is doing very good preaching in UC Davis, which is in Santa Clara, is it? UC Davis? Sacramento, yeah, it's in Sacramento. Yeah. So close to ISB. So he's preaching. So one of the days he had put a book table and Balram Gopal Prabhu happened to come there. So he saw the books. He said, wow, this is the same Bhagavad Gita I also have. He said, I have a copy of this. And then he sat with Devrat Prabhu and he could immediately resonate with what he is speaking, connected, and then they had very good discussion and question answers, isn't it? And then he gave him both Bhagavatam and Chaitanya. Same day he picked up both the copies. And you know how much he paid for them? How much he paid? $150 he paid. And he took it, just see how much, because he sought knowledge, so Supersoul gave him knowledge, gave him an applause, Haribol. Correct, na? See, it is a tap the door, it shall be opened. Huh? Seek the knowledge, it will be provided to you. Correct, no? When you have a need, then Lord arranges everything for you. Huh? So, although he is born in America, he had that. He could quickly realize, even as a college student, that what is this material world? People are just wasting their time foolishly. Huh? And he could understand the knowledge of the Gita. And now he started reading Bhagavatam and CC, and now he moved in. He's staying with Devarat Prabhu. Now he's also one of the book distributors there. He's come to Pune for a while, short while. He was with me in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, he practically came for all the programs. Wherever I was going to different youth centers and everything, he's super enthusiastic. I was very amazed how he is singing Guru Puja and other songs. He has learnt it, and just like any Indian can learn quickly, he has picked up these words very easily. Huh? He's singing and he's a sober devotee. So in this way, if you seek knowledge, Krishna will give knowledge. He says that. And then if somebody wants forgetfulness, they are not interested. One time, this Radha Gopinath Prabhu was telling that, say you are in a ship, you are throwing a rope for the drowning people to pick up. But you find that not all people are willing to catch the rope. Are they ready, everybody? No. That is why His Grace Vaisheshwar Prabhu, when he was here, he was telling, ripe fruit and, kacha fruit, correct, no? Which is unripe fruit. Unripe people, when you go with Krishna consciousness to them, they are not ready. So they will give some argument, or they will criticize your activity. They will talk ill of devotees, or they'll be crooked sometimes. You find like that, unripe people. They feel you are a nuisance, they feel like that. Whereas the ripe people, as soon as you meet, immediately they are willing to, with open arms, they welcome you and they take the books and they ask questions and they get connected very quickly. Like I was going to one hostel for distributing books. One of the boys, he was reading Bhagavad Gita. Then he said, I will also help you. So he joined me in carrying the books and everything, going room to room. He took me to different places. Similarly, in another hostel, our boys told me, they were actually having this mantra meditation circle, chanting japa. So one boy was passing by the room and he heard the sound, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Then he battered the door. They opened the door. Then he saw them all chanting. He said, can you give me a mala? Can I also join? Yes. And then he became a devotee. These people are like, just waiting to become devotees. Correct now? On the other hand, Radha was telling that sometimes you throw a rope, a person doesn't pick up. And he's swimming away from the ship. And you're wondering why he didn't see the ship. You jump into the water and you swim behind him and catch his collar and say, hey, ship is not there, ship is here. And he says, I know it, but I'm not interested. Then he said, we don't have to chase after people like that, he said, because they're not yet ready. There is a way he can be saved from that Atlantic Ocean, but he is not interested to be saved. He has his own, he has to suffer for a while until he comes to that understanding. Some people are not ready. So therefore then Krishna gives apohanam, he says, I give them forgetfulness. Some living entities are very vicious also. Like recently you must have heard some doctor, doctor living entity, he is making some ricin, is it? You heard about that? Is it RACIN? Is it? Some kind of very dangerous poison it is. If you put a few droplets of it, 2,000 people will die. If you put in the food. So, this is Atankavadi, we call terrorists. But the terrorists, can be a simple terrorist and there can be a white collar terrorist. This is called white collar terrorism. Yeah, simple terrorist will take a gun, shoot somebody and try to escape, will be caught by the police and put behind the bars. Whereas the white collar means, you look like a gentleman and then you kill 2,000 people. With some medicine, with some, so they have synthesized it in the lab for many years, they have researched. You do research not for saving the world, but for destroying the world. Kshayaya jagato ahitaha, Krishna says. Hetam drishtim avashtabhya nashtatmano alpa buddhayaha prabhavanti ugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato ahitaha, he says. These people are born to destroy the world or create trouble for the living entities. And these are also jivas. Can you think about it? This jiva is also a jiva. but surrounded by a subtle body where he has such a toxic mindset, to create a kind of, you know, chemical weapon to unnecessarily destroy innocent living entities. Just see. So these are forgetful living entities. Forgetful and not ready for surrendering to the Lord. So, and then Krishna says, Smriti. I give Smriti to whom? Smriti means what? Remembrance. Remembrance of what? Like if you are going to embark on a wrong thing, say for example, somebody is picking up a cigarette, the Lord will give remembrance to the fellow. Hey, in the last life you got a cancer and died. Because you smoked a lot in last life, therefore your hands are going towards cigarette now. But already you got kick. Do you want one more kick or enough? Then he immediately gives it. No, I will not touch it. Because he got remembrance. The Lord gives the remembrance based on your Purva Janma Karma. The maturity that comes by suffering in the previous life is carried by the Supersoul, who brings that maturity to the surface and reminds you not to indulge. That's why something called as guilt, we say, correct? Not conscience. The guilt comes. One realizes this should not be done. If I do it, I will suffer. So he gives a remembrance. So he gives knowledge, he gives remembrance, he also gives forgetfulness, isn't it? So, but for those people, who are beyond these three, those who are devotees of the Lord, who have already started sadhana bhakti very faithfully, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regs, studying Prabhupada's books, faithfully executing devotion service, it's not that they have already made it. They are actually on the way to attain the ultimate perfection. So, on the way, we need guidance or we don't need guidance? We very much need. So therefore, we have a guru, we have many other Shiksha gurus, we have other Vaishnavas, fellow devotees with whom we stay, and we try to find out how we can properly advance in spiritual life. And during that time, we undergo the Anartha Vritti, correct? No? So in the Anartha Vritti period, we get a lot of help from various devotees and books and our services and everything. It's a little painful period where we trouble others and we trouble ourselves also, both. Because of our anarthas, we trouble others also and we trouble ourselves also. And then that's a gradual process. But if somebody has gone through that period and come to the Nishtha stage, beyond Nishtha, the Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, in those stages, one is in a state of favorable disposition towards the Lord and one feels affection for the Lord. From Ruchi onwards, one feels a very high taste in relation to devotional service to the Lord. At that time, one can go from Vaidhi Bhakti to Raga Bhakti. So in that stage, the Lord says, 10.10, what he says? Tesham statayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayantite. Here he says that beyond the stage of Nishtha, if any of my devotee try to embark on sense gratification, I will give them a slap and I will pull them towards myself. That's why the Lord says, Yasyaham anugruhnami arishye dhanam shanai. He says, if a devotee misuses wealth for sense gratification after becoming a serious, advanced devotee, also somebody can do that, isn't it? Like Bharat Maharaj was in the early stage of bhava, and he was becoming distracted by a deer. The Lord punished him by giving him the body of a dear. It may look cruel, but it is like a punishment given by a mother for a child. Sometimes the mother may pinch a child or slap a child. Hey, you're playing all day. Come, sit and study. To bring a child from whiling away the very valuable time to making the child become more responsible and dutiful, she may give a punishment. Like that, the Lord also, Lord's punishment is not a very serious punishment because although he got the body of a deer, he was spiritually more advanced than Bharata's body. See, Bharat was here, the deer was here, but spiritual advancement wise, Bharat was a little slack, deer was more serious. And Jada Bharata was super serious, correct? No? You find like that. Spiritually, Bharata didn't stand to lose anything. He was actually growing. From Bharata's body, deer's body, Jada body, you have to draw a curve like this, chart like this. Materially speaking, from here he fell down to deer's body, then he went to Jada body. People will see like this. But spiritually, it's like this. How many of you understand this point? Is clear? Yeah, spiritually. So, that means Lord dealing with the devotee, is different than Maya dealing with the Jiva. Maya is like a police, removing the belt and beating a thief. That's very painful. Whereas Lord dealing with the devotee is like a parents dealing with their own child. So in this way, the Lord says, Dadami buddhi yogantam. I give them the sad buddhi by which they can come to me. Like, Billamangal was attached to one Chintamani. But then Lord actually arranged for speaking through her mouth. You know, when Chintamani told him, you are so attached to my body, how foolish you are. Think about it, even a iota of this attachment you had towards Krishna, you would have attained him long before, she said. When he heard that, it was like a lightning or thunder for him. The next moment, Villamangal said, Chintamani, Somagirir, Guror me, he says. Oh, my guru in the previous life was Somagiri. I was his disciple and I was advancing in Krishna consciousness and I fell down. And now I became attached to a woman in this life. And now that you've spoken this, you are not speaking this, my guru is speaking through your tongue. I will not waste a moment now. Immediately gave up everything and headed towards Vrindavan and went on to become such a pure devotee that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted from Krishna Karnamrit, many, many verses. Villamangal became completely purified in Vrindavan. Although he was blind, he was a pure devotee, adored by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, in this way, the Lord gave him the buddhi to come back to him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mama payantite. 10.10 he says. So, this poor jiva in this world is trapped in this material body, which is made up of gross elements and subtle elements and the 10 type of airs. And he is trapped in the region of the heart. But the jiva is not alone. He is accompanied by the greatest well-wisher, Suhrit, who is in the Supersoul. The Supersoul is accompanying, like a father accompanying a child. The soul is accompanying. So one who understands this, like Krishna explains in 13th chapter of the Gita, that there are two kshetrajñas in this body. The jiva is one kshetrajña and Krishna is another kshetrajña. But Krishna kshetrajña is in all the bodies. We are only in our own body. So now let's read the purport by Prabhupada. One of you can read that? Who has the mic with you? Golapu, you can read, yeah. Purport. Yeah, I have not read the purport. Only translation I have read it. You can read the purport, yeah, in Bhagavad Gita.
In Bhagavad Gita 7.4 and 5, it is stated that the 8 elements, earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego, are all products of the Lord's inferior energy, whereas the living entities who are seen to utilize the inferior energy originally belong to the superior energy, the internal potency of the Lord. The 8 inferior energies work grossly and subtly, whereas the superior energy works as the central generating force. This is experienced in the human body. The gross elements, namely earth, etc., from the external gross body and are like a coat, whereas the subtle body, subtle mind, and false ego act like the inner clothing of the body.
Like a shirt and a banyan. You have a shirt, you have a banyan, then you have the body. Like that is the gross body, subtle body, and inside that there is soul. So subtle body is somewhat like a hard disk where you store your softwares of your desires and everything. And the gross body is like a computer, external body of a computer. So you have a computer, you have a hard disk, and you are the operator, correct? No? Who is using the softwares, to do. And people become so occupied by the apps and the softwares in the computer, they forget the world around, correct? No? Just like, for example, say you have the mobile, the mobile hardware, and inside the mobile there are provisions for storing many, many apps and many, many type of, video games and everything. So when people start playing video game in a mobile, they forget the world around, correct? No? Similarly, when the living entity deals with the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, and ego, he completely forgets his real identity, that I am the soul and I have my master super soul. We both are spiritual, and this subtle body and gross body are all material, which is of a different nature. The soul cannot understand all this because he gets lost. Our Gauranga always makes fun. He jokes about it. He says, one man was sitting and watching TV. Suddenly he turned around and saw there was a cobra standing. So he was asking everybody what he would do with the cobra. Will he tell cobra, you also watch TV? Huh? He will jump up and run away from that place. Similarly, this cobra that is next to us is the Kala Uraga. Yakaschanesho balinonta ragat prachanda vegat abhidavato brisham bhitam prapannam paripati yadbhayat mrityu pradhavat yaranam tamimahi. In this verse he says, Yakaschanesho balino anta. He says, in this world, probably most people don't know that there is a Lord above us. Lord's glance is watching us. Most people are completely unaware. They are foolish. They are naughty, mischievous. They are doing their own things. But the Kala Uraga is actually chasing us. And Prachanda Vegat, and it is chasing us at a very high speed. How do you know that? You can see your body. The body is changing from childhood to boyhood to youth to old age. So the Kala Uraga, if somebody says, I am 25 years old, the Kala Uraga from bottom, it has swallowed up to the knee. If you say I'm 50 years, half body is swallowed, isn't it? If somebody saying I'm 75 or 80, everything is swallowed except the head is waiting, that's all. You become 90, 95, you are almost swallowed. Finished. So this Kala Uraga's effect is little difficult for us to see. Why? See, you have seen this cricket when they show, when a bowler is bowling, like this there are different slides, correct, no? But when you run them in a succession, they look like continuous, correct, no? But if you take one still, then you know that, oh, this bowler is moving like this. So, in the same manner, the body is changing. At every moment, the Maya Devi is changing the body from one to another, keeps changing. We tend to forget unless we observe over a period of time. When I ask the students, look at your childhood body. Does it look like you? It's totally different. Now look at your body, how it is. So the Kala Uraga has devoured the previous bodies, and eventually time will come and the whole body will be taken away. And then he says, Bhitam Prapannam Paripati Advayat. One who surrenders to the Lord, then they get the protection in the form of Lord supplying you knowledge, Lord supplying you the devotees who will escort you, guide you back to Godhead. Unless one surrenders to Lord, there is no hope. The foolish jiva doesn't know all these truths mentioned in this verse. There are 10 hairs moving through the body and making our body function. How many people have thought about this in this world? Jiva doesn't know his difference from the body. I am a driver of this body. I am different from the body. I am actually seated in the heart, region of the heart. That's why the Bhagavatam, when we study, it not only tells you very sweet pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, Yashoda chasing after Krishna and binding him. That is there in the 10th canto. But if you go from 1st canto to 9th canto, this kind of thorough analysis, Sankhya analysis of the material existence is also available in the Bhagavatam. If one has carefully studied the 9 cantos, then they can truly relish the 10th canto. Go ahead.
The movements of the body are first generated from the heart, and all the activities of the body are made possible by the senses, powered by the 10 kinds of air within the body.
Yeah, this heart is like an engine of the body. Like in a car, there is an engine, correct? Without the engine, is it useful to have a car? You can't run. That's where the movement, the engine has the piston and the movement and everything. All those things are made. But then you have the axle, which transfers the movement to the wheels, isn't it? The engine is very important. Similarly, heart is the place. Even from a doctor's point of view, heart is a place from where the blood is circulated all over the body. Correct, no? It goes all over the body and then it gives nourishment for the whole body. So now the super soul and soul are seated in that place, in the region of the heart, where all the airs are in equilibrium in the heart. So at the time of death, what a yogi does, using this apana vayu, what he does, he moves that equilibrium point. Like this, he moves it, and brings it here. When he brings it to the Kapala, where the Brahmarandra is there, huh? Then from there, the soul, Kapala is broken, and then he goes to a planet of his choice. If he has become devoted to Lord Vishnu, he'll go to Vaikuntha. Otherwise, he'll go to Siddhaloka, like that. But currently, for everybody in the region of the heart, there's the equilibrium of the airs. Go ahead.
The 10 kinds of airs are described as follows. The main air passing through the nose in breathing is called prana. The air which passes through the rectum as evacuated bodily air is called apana. The air which adjusts the food stuff within the stomach and which sometimes sounds as belching is called samana. The air which passes through the throat and the stoppage of which constitutes suffocation is called the udana air. And the total air which circulates throughout the entire body is called the Vyan air. Subtler than these five airs, there are others also. That which facilitates the opening of the eyes, mouth, etc., is called Naga air. The air which increases appetite is called Krikar air. The air which helps contraction is called Kurma air. The air which helps relaxation by opening the mouth wide in yawning is called Devdatta air. And the air which helps sustenance is called Dhananjay air. All these airs are generated from the heart, which is
From the center of the heart.
all these airs are generated from the center of the heart, which is one only. This central energy is superior energy of the Lord, who is seated within the heart with the soul of the body, who acts under the guidance of the Lord. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 15.15 as follows. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta kritved videva chaham. The complete central force is generated from the heart by the Lord, who is seated there and who helps the conditioned soul in remembering and forgetting. The conditioned state is due to the soul's forgetfulness of his relationship of subordination to the Lord. One who wants to continue to forget the Lord is helped by the Lord to forget him birth after birth. But one who remembers him by dint of association with a devotee of the Lord is helped to remember him more and more. Thus, the conditioned soul can ultimately go back home, back to Godhead. This process of transcendental help by the Lord is described in Bhagavad Gita 10.10 as follows. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. The Buddhi Yoga process of self realization with intelligence transcendental to the mind, devotional service, can alone elevate one from the conditioned state of material entanglement in the cosmic construction. The conditioned state of the living entity is like that of a person who is within the depths of a huge mechanical arrangement. The mental speculators can reach to the point of Buddhi Yoga after many, many lifetimes of speculation. But the intelligent person who begins from the platform of intelligence above the mind makes rapid progress in self realization. Because the Buddhi Yoga process entails no fear of deterioration or retrogression at any time, it is the guaranteed path to self realization as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2.40. The mental speculators cannot understand that the two birds, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, sitting in one tree, are the soul and the supersoul. The individual soul eats the fruit of the tree, while the other bird does not eat the fruit but only observes the activities of the eating bird. Without attachment, the witnessing bird helps the fruit-eating bird perform fruitive activities. One who cannot understand this difference between the soul and supersoul, or God and the living entities, is certainly still in the entanglement of the cosmic machinery, and thus must still await the time when he will be free from the bondage.
Yeah. So, you want to make rapid progress or a slow progress? So, for rapid progress, we need help from the super soul. Huh? If you are going, if the super soul is convinced about our sincerity, then he gives direction. He says that I'll give you direction, correct? No? And with that direction, it becomes very easy for us to make a very quick progress. Huh? Like, say, I want to come to Vishal Nagar. So, from NVCC, first time I came here, we were going round and rounds in this area. We reached this area, but we couldn't locate this place. Huh? It took us almost 40 minutes to locate this place. Huh? Somebody was then first, because we were trying to get someone on the number on the phone, we couldn't reach. Actually, we should have called in advance. Huh? So we went here, we went there. Somebody said this, that, different directions we were taking. So next time they got the, what do you call it? You get the map, I think, correct? No, location. Huh? They send the location, and then you could immediately come. Because when you have guidance, you make a rapid progress. Huh? Without guidance, you have to do speculation. And the speculation, is it helpful? It takes you round and round. Huh? You cannot get to the place very easily. So the jnanis are speculators. They say, no, I'll figure out myself. I don't need any help. Actually, they need help, but they are having ego to not admit that they need help. Huh? So Lord is ready to help, but He will only help those who seek help. Huh? But somebody is a speculator. He says, no, I will figure out myself. Huh? Then they can't get help. That takes lifetimes. Bhunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapa. Then they surrender at last. Huh? So, but a devotee of the Lord has no hesitation. He says, Shishyaste aham shadhi mam prapannam. He says, I surrender to you, my Lord. I don't have any direction. I am confused about my duty. Huh? Sammuda cheta. The devotee is ready to admit one's confusion, one's difficulties, and beg the Lord for help. Then one gets direction and the progress becomes a rapid progress. So now if any of us feel that, oh, I am making progress, but it is very, very like snail progress. You know, snail's progress? Very slowly, you have seen that snail how it goes? Little by little by little, for dragging his body. So, but we want to go fast like a rabbit or like a horse. Very fast. That is possible when we get help, when we get help from the Lord. So that is why in our prayer, the Lord, we can pray that, my dear Lord, there is some amount of insincerity in me, carelessness in me, casual dealings in me. Although you have provided all the facilities for me, you have given the books, you have given the devotees, you have given a guru, you have given the Acharya Srila Prabhupada, you have given this beautiful movement. All that is needed for me to come back to you are provided, but I am only lethargic in accepting them. Huh? Yeah, I'm not ready to embrace them and accept them and follow them. That is one of my problems. Huh? Can anybody say, Prabhuji, if I had a full Bhagavatam set, I would have read. But nowadays, Bhagavatam set, you just go to the stall and you can get a box. In those days, Srinivas Acharya, when he wanted Bhagavatam, Gadadhar Pandit told him, go back to Bengal, get it written by a Brahmana and bring. Because Bhagavatam set which he had, Gadadhar Pandit had become smudged because of his tears of, while reading the Bhagavatam. So when Srinivasacharya went, it took 3 months to write the Bhagavatam. Huh? And it took 3 more months for him to do some other important work he had to complete. So he did that. And after 6 months, when he came back, Gadadhar Pandit had left for back to Godhead. Huh? So you can imagine. So now that's not the case. You don't have to wait for 6 months. Today only you can get it. Huh? Immediately, as soon as you desire. So similarly, in those days, if you have to go to Vrindavan, it would take months together to walk to go to Vrindavan. Now you just catch a flight, land in Delhi, take a car. In a few hours, you will reach Vrindavan now very easily. So in this day and age, things are made easy for us. All the spiritual equipments, tools, they're easily available. Only what is not available is seriousness. And we need to pray to the Lord, please help me to understand the gravity of my situation, my predicament. You know, like Gajendra is being caught by the crocodile. I am being caught by Maya in varieties of ways. And I can't afford to be lethargic or casual or crazy. And uh, let me not use these things, because if I don't use these things, time will run out. My body will run out of fuel, and one day suddenly death will come, and I won't be able to, quickly at that time remember the Lord. Because remembering the Lord is a kind of cultivation, and like you have a plant, you keep watering it. You keep putting manure, and you give sunlight. It takes time for a mango seed to grow into a sapling, and then into a beautiful big mango tree to give you thousands of mangoes. Correct? No? It takes time. So, but bhakti yoga is a daily practice, and we should bring our heart, and we should bring our heart by offering prayers. Uh, so, on one hand, we have to equip ourselves with knowledge, which is important. But knowledge alone is not enough. The knowledge should transform into prayer. Prayer for the Lord's help, because the help, Krishna told Arjuna, whenever you have trouble, if you remember me, I will be there for you. I'll be able to guide you. But if you don't remember me, you are on your own, then I give you freedom to be on your own also. I'm not someone to push you or pressurize you. You can take your own sweet time to come back to me whenever you wish. So he's such a good Lord, very uh, friendly. He facilitates. He gives the freedom. Once His Holiness Ramapad Maharaj was he had gone to some place, one house, and the child of the parents, the parents called the child and told, "Please take the prasad from Maharaj's hands." The child was little naughty. He was telling, "I will not take. No, I don't want. I want to go and play," and things like that. And parents are catching child. No, no, no. Please take it. It's very rare to get some special mercy from a great soul. So anyway, the child was a little bit pushed, and the child took it and went. So they were asking, can we keep the Gaurnita deities they had? Can we keep in a box and keep it in the bureau for some years? Because right now both husband and wife are working in IT company. They are busy. So, and then whenever our life gets a little less busier, then we can start worshipping. Is that all right? So Maharaj was telling that, you see, just as he wanted the child to accept mercy, but he was reluctant. In the same manner, I have given you this Gaurnita deities for you to worship and receive more and more mercy in your life. Whether to accept that mercy or not is your choice. So immediately they understood that. Just like the child is reluctant to accept mercy, we are reluctant to accept the mercy by worshipping the Lord. They said, okay, we will continue worshipping. Although it's a bit difficult, but we will do it because Guru will be pleased. So they continued worshipping, and then everything else Krishna arranged for them in such a way that they could orchestrate the life in such a way that the morning program could go on, the chanting could go on, their spiritual progress, as it got better and better, their material life became altered and adjusted in such a manner that Krishna, because he says, I will give you the facility by which you can come back to me. So, but if we are compromising on spiritual duties, we try to slip out, escape from spiritual duties. And then materially we are very alert and attentive. You will see that life becomes more and more complex, more and more difficult. Actually, in material life, everybody tries to become a winner. But material life is only Chandramani Maharaj said, material life means you can never stop playing and you can never win. He said, you keep on playing thinking that, first you think, I want to be an IITian. Then by the time you become IITian, I want to also have an IIM also. IIT and IIM combination, people say, is very wonderful. And then by the time you finish IIM, you feel, I don't want to work in India, I would like to go abroad. Then you go abroad, then you want to go to bigger and bigger companies. Then you have to work hard to go to bigger and bigger companies and bigger positions. And after that, you think, why should I work for somebody? I am such a big man now. I would like to start my own startup. Then you make your own startup. And then when you make your own startup, then to grow in the startup, you need to invest a lot of energy, time, money, everything. You work hard. Spiritual life goes for a toss. And then afterwards, you think, now I have to popularize myself. I have to expand the branches in different parts of America. And then you think, oh, other fellows in the same field, they are going across the continents. And I also have to go across the continents, to different continents. Now I think it's high time I should popularize myself in the social media also. Otherwise, how will people know who I am? Then one goes to Instagram, one goes to different Facebook and LinkedIn and everything. You have to become a popular person. And then suddenly you find there's a big, heavy competition in your business field. Day and night, people sometimes, midnight, they have to get up and do some work. People work hard like anything to survive in the business, to compete with others, to tackle the enemies, and all that thing. Suddenly they hear about Trump's tariff. That's another fear now. you know, you will see that, in this world, the material life is such that it always keeps on, going up, up, up. There is no end to that going. That's why you can never win and you can never stop playing. So somewhere we have to draw a line. In my material life, okay, I don't want to compete with karmis. If I compete with karmis, I'm going to be most frustrated devotee in this world. Because you are not a karmi, that's the problem. See, karmi is a karmi. Karmis have no spiritual goal. They are just running here and there, eat, drink, and be merry. One day they will die, they don't know where are they going. Where are they heading to? They have no clue of what life is. But if you are a devotee, we can't compete with the karmi. Karmis, it's likely that karmis may be going rapidly ahead and making a lot of money and luxuries and facilities and amenities. Is that what you want in life? You have to ask yourself, if you want Krishna, you can't. I want to be a pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, also be like that karmi. It's like two legs in two boats. you know, then you fall in between. You neither go there nor there. So we are devotees. We want to advance in spiritual life. And in material life, we have to draw a line somewhere. Beyond this, if I work hard, then my spiritual duties will suffer. Correct, no? Then when the Lord says that, yes, you are serious about spiritual life, then He gives you a clue, gives you direction how to advance in spiritual life. Some people are super smart. They are able to succeed in both material life and spiritual life because they come with that type of intelligence also from the previous lives. They do very little material work and they succeed in material life like anything. You've seen some people like that? Less input, big output. Like that. But that could be because of the Purva Janma Karma Phala also. But I am talking about average devotees. We should make sure that, just like, for example, you want to buy chikki in Lonavala. You go to buy chikki and then they will show you varieties. When you see varieties of chikkis, kaju is high, too costly, you say. Groundnut chikki is little less costly. Can you give me the kaju in the same cost as groundnut chikki? You keep arguing, By the time you turn around and see the train is not there. The train is gone. Because you didn't realize that you are spending too much time in the shop. Correct, no? So, ISKCON is like the train. And the chikki shop is like our own desires. We want to do so many things in this world. So, you can fulfill your desires without losing the train. How do we do that? Or keep one eye on the train, one eye on the chikki. Or, or you sit in the train, buy chikki only through the window. That is even more better. So if you are sitting in the train and buying chikki through the window, then what will happen? Even the train moves, no problem. You are not going to lose. So that is real smartness. So those who are very smart devotees, they will hold on to Krishna's lotus feet. And then they can do other things. Then you get direction and you advance in spiritual life. They, at any cost, they will not trade Krishna consciousness for anything. Because there is so much knowledge. Today we were reading this purport. Like this, you find the Bhagavatam, CC, and there are so many other books to be read and lectures to be heard. And we also have so many services to be done. So a devotee makes Krishna the main goal of life. Then other, subsidiary goals, you can do as much as you can. Whenever it comes to making compromises, we should know where to compromise and where not. Imagine one of you, say your sister is going to get married. Will you not take 2 weeks leave? How many of you will take 2 weeks leave from the company? If your sister is going to get married, you will take, correct, no? Sometimes you have to go and give invitations and you have to arrange, correct, no? Because it is important for you, you will do that. In the same manner, when Krishna consciousness is important, then we will pay the price. Because it's important for us. So, on the other hand, If other things become all important, then Krishna consciousness becomes very puny. So, Lord's direction that Lord is willing to give depends on our attitude. Lord will see, oh, you are interested in me, then I have it becomes my duty to help you to get direction. The Lord feels sympathy for a poor jiva who is praying sincerely, begging the Lord. Oh Lord, I am very confused about my duty. I don't know where am I going. I surrender at your lotus feet. Please help me guide. That's what Arjuna surrendered. And Lord immediately felt a strong connection. Oh, here is a jiva who is crying. Lord says, Desham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Is maya aveshita chetasam. If somebody is attached to me, and they are begging for my help, Lord says, I cannot resist myself. Immediately I come and I personally deliver them. Tesham aham samudharta, he says. I personally deliver. On the other hand, there are people who have come to ISKCON, Krishna consciousness, but they find many things interesting other than the core thing, which is Shravanam and Kirtanam. The Shravanam and Kirtanam is like the, real petrol for the car. You say that, I want a beautiful car, I want to paint it very beautifully, I want to decorate it. Everything is good, but if petrol is not there, car cannot move. Isn't it? So, therefore, the hearing, chanting, and service and sadachar, these things, they take a top priority. Then we will be able to attract the Lord's attention. So here in Vishal Nagar, today is the Bhumi Puja for the building which is coming up. So all the devotees have come together and invested the money for two purposes. One is to have a house where they can all stay together as one big community, and also to offer a gift of a place for Srila Prabhupada's mission, which is the temple in the ground floor to the first 5 floors. It's the most intelligent thing any community in this world can do. So when this was brought to the ISKCON's management, WDC and ICC, the beginning, at the first go, they were shocked. Oh, this is a new type of project where 5 floors are temple, and above the congregation is living, and many queries came from various leaders about how this can be done. This is not traditionally we have not done like this, because when you come up with a creative or innovative idea, naturally it brings many challenges and questions. But eventually they understood that in a city it's very difficult to get a big patch of land to build a very big temple. But this is such a beautiful model. If any congregation devotee wants to come for Mangalarti, just have to board the lift and press a button. They're in the temple hall. Correct, na? How much spiritual life can be more easier than this? Isn't it? It's in your fingertips. Temple is in your fingertips. Just enter the lift and press the button. You land in the temple hall immediately. Life is going to be easy. Only thing is we should have intention to come. That's all. Isn't it? Facility to come is going to be given now. Only the intention should be there. Isn't it? So if the intention is there, like for example, I have a hearing device with me. As soon as I get up in the morning, I just have to press one button. As soon as I press that mobile, and the proper lecture is already going regularly. I just press it, it'll cut, it'll go on. But we should have the intention to hear. If somebody thinks, oh, early morning if I put Prabhupada, Prabhupada will bombard me. Don't do this. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Some people are not ready for it. Prabhupada will say, surrender, surrender, surrender. Some living entities are afraid to put on Prabhupada. So that fear we have to give up. Ma Shucha, Krishna says, don't fear to surrender. You just have to be ready. Just press that one button. Then Prabhupada will take care of you. After that, Prabhupada will tell you what to do. You will see that initially there is an inhibition, but once you hear 5 minutes, then you start liking it. Oh, wonderful. See, what Prabhupada is saying is very true. Although it may be initially a little painful to hear, but it is true. I hear a series of Prabhupada, like first chapter, second chapter. Now I'm in 16th chapter now. 16th chapter of the Gita. Second time I'm hearing now. It's very beautiful it is. So we just have to have that intention. So this is going to be an extraordinary project. Now, once this temple comes up, many other parts of India and abroad, this type of temples are likely to come. Many leaders were saying. And the glory of establishing this unique type of creative project will go to BCEC, Vishal Nagar Community Devotees. Haribol. The world will say that these are the fellows who innovated this first idea, and then everywhere else it will go. All across the globe it will go. Many other people will do that. Because in city, there cannot be a bigger advantage than this. Nowadays, commuting has become so difficult. One place to another. Congregation finds it. So earlier, congregation were far away. Then NVCC, we built a temple and devotees surrounding it. There also you have to walk and come. Sometimes, especially some of the older people, retired people, mother, father, they find it little difficult to walk to NVCC, climb up, climb down. But if they are in the same building in a flat above, even senior citizens can just enter the lift, press a button, walk down in the temple floor, directly can enter the temple hall. What a wonderful facility, huh? Very thoughtful idea it is. So I wish to congratulate all of you community members of BCEC and we will pray to Shishi Gaurnitai, Radha Vandamachandra, Radha Kunjabe, Radha Damodar that this project becomes a very outstanding, the famous project all across the globe and let people take inspiration and make similar projects in hundreds and thousands of places across the globe. Thank you. Shilpa Parki. What's her name? Yeah? Diti. Thank you.